I want you to think about how dumb this vehicle is. There is the truck. All of this is trailer. God, I love Armada. From Transformers Armada, this is Overload. Overload is a very odd character in Armada, in that he's not a character in Armada. He literally just showed up in the episode Puppet, and he was there so Optimus could have his big guns, and they never acknowledge that Overload's his own character. It honestly looks like Optimus just has an extra bit on his trailer, but he is his own character. He is indeed the Overload, and this is him in his beautiful, clunky form. I love this thing so much. Seriously, just check out this vehicle mode. You have this tiny, tiny truck in the front, and then just all of this. All of this, cannons everywhere. You have some that are like mortars. You have some that can shoot straight forward. You have this in the back that looks like an onboard ramp. I'm trying to figure out, like, what does this actually look like in real life? If you've ever seen how they transport shuttles, they'll have, and I mean space shuttles, mind you, they'll have a little truck in the front that's actually doing the driving, and then the shuttle is on this massive, massive platform. That's kind of what this looks like. And given the fact that he's supposed to have some compatibility with Optimus and Jetfire, I wonder if that is the inspiration, that he's supposed to be there if you'd like to transport Jetfire. Just a thought, there's not really a way to make the vehicle modes of Jetfire and Overlord interact. It's just something that, if you want to, you could put Jetfire up there, I suppose. Why not? But keep this in mind, that's Overload. All the trailer, that's just his stuff. That's him. That's the guy right here. Overload, Overload stuff. Overload, Overload stuff. It's kind of staggering to see how much this guy travels with. You know, I guess it's better to have it and not need it rather than need it and not have it. But look at this little dude just by himself. What a great little truck. Like, it's so nice and chunky. It kind of reminds me of a bot shot in terms of just how, like, chunk it is. And you also have this piece right here. What this piece is so that you can have it, boop, right there in the trailer. And now Overload can push it, he can turn, he can be like, I'm coming in, guys, Tokyo Drift, yeah, there we go. Overload, he's the king of the Tokyo drifting, don't you know? Only man I've ever seen drift a trailer that's 20 times his own size. So, just looking at Overload, you can actually get him to transform by himself. We can flip out his tiny, tiny head right there. You can see he's a very handsome bot. He kind of reminds me of the last Autobot in a weird way. This is also really funny. He can just be like, hey guys, boop, hey, boop, hey. And then to transform him fully, we're going to bring down his legs. Bop. Oh, I thought we flipped them around somehow. Here, we're going to figure this out together, folks. We're going to get the arms going, though, because these I can at least figure out. They just... Oh, wow, wait. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong here? They're supposed to... Oh, there we go. It's just really stiff on mine. I know the steps, I just don't know the tensions with this guy quite yet. And then... Boop, 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 boop. It really feels like these legs should be able to flip around, but I'm not getting them to. Now that I look at it... Yeah, no, there's definitely a swivel of some type there, but no, I can't get them to go. Maybe this is his bot mode. But this is it. Just a chunky, chunky little guy. He kind of reminds me of the Minicons, in all honesty. And he's not much larger than a Minicon either. Here, let me go grab one so you can compare. I grabbed a Minicon I always really like. Here's a Knockout. He's about average size for a Minicon. You can see that Overload's not that much larger. He's definitely not, a properly scaled Transformer, but he looks like he's just a very large Minicon. But he also has about the same articulation as a Minicon. He can go up and down with his head like that. There's no swivel, and then you can go like this with the arms. You can hinge them out if you want, and then you got nothing in the legs. If you want, he can go like ba-ba-ba-ba. He has guns down here, baby. This is much more for the combined mode, where Overload's robot mode can just become a blaster for Optimus. But it's nice. I like this little dude's little robot mode. And he still has his cool trailer. And that's it on Overload. Nothing else to talk about here, folks. That's him. That's the guy right here, and then this is his trailer. Trailer doesn't do anything. I have enough Optimus Primes to know that the trailer is just there for show. No roller, nothing. You don't have to worry about anything. Don't pay attention to that runtime. No, that's all just dead time. I'm actually going to be doing my slam poetry session. Alright, let's transform the trailer. I tricked you. This thing actually does have a thing it can do. So what you want to do is you're just going to fold these up for a sec, and then we're going to fold this up, and now we have what's farming to be arms and legs. This guy is actually going to keep flipping around like so. We're going to fold down the feet, bring these down. Oh, actually, we're going to rotate them first. And then we're going to bring them down. Bop, bop. And then we're going to bring down the arms. This is actually really similar to G1 Ultra Magnus. Here, let me fix the camera. I thought that I'd got it in a good height, but clearly not. So with these, you're just going to push up, and then we're going to, boop, rotate it around and fold the kibble back. But that transformation step especially, that folding of the arms, that is very G1 Magnus. And what do you know, eventually this was turned into an Ultra Magnus, which makes sense. And that's got our big power suit. So here's what's cool about Overload. They don't really say what Overload's deal is, but what I've always taken it to be is Overload is basically a headmaster. Or at the very least, he's this tiny guy. And maybe he's a bit weak. He has these very thin limbs, so maybe he's atrophied slightly. And this is his power armor. So he made himself a big robot suit so that he can go and fight Decepticons. We never saw Overload in the cartoon. He's only had a few appearances in comics. And I hate that because that's really cool. There's not many Autobots or Transformers in general that I can think of, that have to rely on external power armor. It's an interesting idea. But in order to complete the look, we're going to fold this up. We're basically going back to the truck mode. Boop, we've had the arms back there. Fold this back. And then we're going to fold down the small head and bring up the big head. And now, by putting this in here, yeah! And he even made the noise. Did you hear it? Here, let me get it again. Every time you put it in, it makes that noise. This guy doesn't have many sound effects by himself. Most of them are for the combined mode with Optimus. But that is a really cool one, how every time you put it in, we get the transformation noise. I like it, okay? I'm a simple man. I like it when the toys make the transformation noise. Also, check out how nice this head sculpt is. It's a very striking visage. He looks like a proper statuesque battler. And I like that you can still see the tiny vehicle mode there. It's the type of thing where I can imagine if his battle suit were to get damaged, he could always eject himself and run to maybe a backup body. There's so much you could do with Overload as a character. I hate that no one's ever really tried to tackle him, because there's not many Transformers that are like him. Even the Headmasters, they don't have a vehicle mode they turn into, whereas Overload, he is his own dedicated bot that just has this larger armor he can put on. Weirdly though, the big bot has less articulation than the small bot did, so you can still go up and down in the head slightly. It's a little bit stiffer on him. You can have a swivel here at the arm, and then a swivel at the elbow, nothing in the wrist, and you can see his body collides in on itself, so you can't use these swivels to their full advantage. If we swivel the arms up, you have a swivel here in the hip, and you can go out slightly, but not really. That's really just for plastic give. There's no actual joint there. But he can swivel his foot around, and then he can use those big, chunky feet to keep himself in good standing poses. He doesn't have many points of articulation, and the points he does have collide on each other. He is a big, beautiful brick, but he is a brick all the same. At the same time, he's a hefty brick. He has great weight on him. He has electronics, and he's massive in scale. Here, I actually have a couple of guys I want to compare him to. Here he is with Armada Jetfire, who's one of the larger Autobots you can get. And you can see Overload is almost as tall as him and is a little bit wider than him. So he's a very well-sized Autobot. And then if I just wanted to bring in some of the more deluxe-scaled Autobots, I'm just pulling them in right now. Here he is with Blur. You can see Blur barely comes up to his waist. Here he is with Smokescreen. Smokescreen is very short compared to everyone. And then here he is with Optimus at the very least. This is the Universe Ultra Magnus using the Deluxe Optimus mold. God, what a good lineup. Armada toys always look so good together. It's insane how much they pop. But you can see Overload is a really well-sized Autobot. He's not as well articulated, he doesn't have as many gimmicks, but he's so unique, and he has such a striking persona that I'm willing to look past the fact that maybe he can't move all that well. Also, this is what kind of makes me sad. If I had a proper full-sized Optimus, these three could do some cool stuff together, but as is, those two don't do much with each other, and that's the wrong Optimus. Even still, I'm so taken with this Overload. Is he as good as some of the other Armada toys? No. I still think Jetfire is a better toy, Tidal Wave is a lot better, Starscream, pretty much everyone in Overload's size class, I would say Overload is probably the weakest one, but it really is the strength of the individuality, the uniqueness that helps Overload out. He's a lot more fun to play with than Jetfire, because Jetfire can get so wibbly. He's a lot better feeling in the hand than, say, Starscream. He doesn't have anywhere near the gimmickry or the fun of Tidal Wave, but there is still a good reason to pick up Overload. He's the only Transformer you'll ever get who's quite like this. A pretender in some ways. A Micromaster combiner in other ways. There's so many influences here. Between, you can make in the argument that Overload has Pretender armor, or this is a Micromaster base, or like I've been saying, that he's like a Headmaster, but he has the full body to go with him. I love this Overload a ton. I would love to see a modern version of him, but this original still has a ton of class.